Hi everyone, it's Cynthia and welcome to the video series on women creating our futures. I really believe that this is the time for women, that we're powerful, that we're expansive. And so my first guest today is someone that I love. I want you to meet Holly Duckworth. She is a leadership development visionary, a consciousness advisor, and a consultant. And she's also the award-winning author of this book, Control, Alt, Believe. Reboot your association for success. Welcome, Holly.
Hi, Cynthia. Thanks for having me on your series.
Yes, I'm really glad you're here. I want you to tell our audience, how you got to this point, because you and I have talked and I know things are changing, but how did you get to this point? Where are you now?
Well, how did I get to this point is a quick, funny answer. Faith, trust, and pixie dust is often the answer. You do your work, and then you do a little more work, and you grow and evolve. Where am I now? I'm in another transition point. I just turned 40, and
you look great.
And that created a little bit of a wave of emotional interesting and insecurity. And now I'm kind of on the flip side of that. Turning 40 was hard for me. Being 40 is really rocking. And so we're kind of stepping into that place of, what do I want in this next 5 or 10 years of my life? I'm stepping into a new brand as a corporate consciousness advisor, working with leaders to roll with the changes that are already happening. So this book was the first book, Control, Alt, Believe, Reboot Your Association for Success. The next one will be around continuing that reboot. What's holding you back? What's controlling you? How do you create alternate solutions in your life? And what is it that you really believe? And certainly turning 40, I've had to shift my beliefs. And for me, that means be alive and become alive in a new way. And as I step into my new role as a consciousness advisor, I'm going to be speaking on more stages. I set an intention. I'm calling it 40,000 words, $40,000, and 4,000 people. So stepping up into serving in that new way with those intentions around 40.
So, there's a lot of women who are looking at who are older than 40, right? And some who are younger than 40 who want to create a new life. And so when you had the idea to step into this, what were the first steps that you took to kind of just move yourself forward and become more visible?
Cynthia, let's be real. Sometimes you have to believe in other people's belief in you before your own belief kicks in. So candidly, I got on the phone and I said, I'm getting my own intuitive messages that are saying I need to do the next book. I need to do the next video. What do you think? And I started reaching out and gathering the support of both men and women around me to grow myself and grow my business and try to just take one step. Don't look at the whole path. And that's often where I get tripped up. So if you're looking at it, just what's the one thing you can do today? And then, get up and do your spiritual practice or your meditation practice, or call that friend and say, what's the one next thing? And then one turns into two. And at least for me, that one thing turned into a blog, and then a column in a national magazine, and then just one thing. So just let it naturally evolve for you.
Right. So I want to know, what were your greatest obstacles?
My own stuff getting in the way. I grew up in a pretty blue-collar life experience, so often my brain trips back into, I'm a trailer park girl. I grew up in a trailer park, and so with that comes certain stigma. And when I let myself fall into that old belief pattern and not step up into who I've become, and being a first-generation college graduate, some of the first things I've had the opportunity to do in my life, that becomes the roadblock for me. And that's, again, when you pick up the phone to your cheer team or your belief squad and say, okay, remind me again, who am I? What am I doing? So that's been the roadblock for me, is my own mindset.
Right. And so, I've known you for a while, and I've watched you. I remember going to a convention and you having this new device from Apple. There were little things you were looking through. I don't remember, you were explaining to me and you were all techie, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so behind. I want to know, how do you keep yourself up to date with all the changes with technology and the internet and social media so that you're relevant?
Oh, that's funny. Those are the Google glasses.
The Google glasses.
If you remember the Google glasses, they're a technology that has certainly come and gone. And I think, as funny as this sounds, I think my answer to that is be willing to be cutting edge, but also letting go. That we have to let go of technology and recognize the ebb and flow of it. So often we learn a technology and then we stick to just that one technology. For me, it's okay, let's give this 90 days or give this 6 months. For example, Blab.im was a pretty popular video platform. And I found a co-host and we agreed to do a show on Blab.im. We got 7 shows in and Blab.im died. It's no longer available. And so you had the choice to, I don't have this technology anymore. I can't get my message out into the world. So that's part of it, is being willing to flex and flow with it. Maybe even fail. Make a mistake and try something different, but know that your gift, whether that's professional speaking like me, or your gift as a mom, or your gift as a business owner, will get out to the right people. Right now, I'm trying Facebook Live,
Me too.
new platform. I think we've been on together actually, and it's quite funny. I didn't want to do it. Back to that whole believing somebody else's belief in me. My friend Phil said, Holly, you have to try it, and here's how you do it. So I have an open office, and about once or twice a week, I just do a little 20-minute, somebody calls me and calls in with a question, and I answer it. So keeping up with technology is about willing to stare fear in the eye and go forward anyway.
Yeah, and I want to talk about your personal life because, I know there's a lot of you looking who are going, okay, I want to be successful. I want to be on the bigger stage, and I also want to have a life, right? And I know you are opening to that part of your life in a new way. So can you talk a little bit about what you are calling into your life in terms of a personal connection?
A personal connection. Well, how long is your program? I've been working with a book, and again, we need to bring in authors and experts and friends for this conversation. I couldn't do this Calling in the One on my own, and I'm working with a book called Calling in the One, and it's for
my friend Captain Woodward Thomas.
Okay,
right?
it's one little nugget every single day, and the book, well, it sounds like it's about the one. It's about your own work. Right. So in my business life right now and in my personal life, I'm back to doing my own work and getting clear about who I am and what I want in my life so that I can invite another partner into that life. Absolutely. And sometimes that's, again, getting out of your comfort zone. I had a moment of weakness and I got online and did a little online dating, and you have to be willing to laugh a little and ask yourself, what are you learning from this experience? And then, it's a sorting process. Mm-hmm. But in all of that sorting, what I've really learned is tap into that queen within. And really, that's what I'm doing right now, is knowing there's a king or a prince out there to come into my life, and that I can be perfect, I can be whole, and I can be complete, even in my imperfect, sometimes not always whole, and completeness, and that will bring in somebody who is equally passionate about life and being in relationship.
Absolutely, and I was speaking to someone this morning about that in terms of my relationship with Carl. I was on dating hiatus for a while because I kept thinking I was the common denominator in the challenges, and so heal thyself. So I love what you're doing, and invite me to your wedding.
God willing, amen. That's all it is.
Great.
We're putting Carl in the cloning machine.
Yes. So I want you to just, before we close, what is the one thing you would want women to know as they want to create their life, their future? What would you want them to know?
Stare fear in the eye and go forward anyway. The moments in my life that have been the scariest, those have been the moments of transformation for me. And being still, being quiet, recognizing the power that I am, surrounding myself with powerful people in those moments of fear.